Hey, and welcome back to Concordia on Air.
I'm Jackson.
And I'm Maya.
And tonight,
Concordia offers booster 19 shots.
Mr. Beast cures blindism?
on Arts and Entertainment, we talk the Best Picture nominees.
All that and more here on Concordia on Air. Hey,
Hello.
how's it going today?
It's going terribly.
Oh, really?
The listening and watching audience at home may notice that you're not my normal co-host.
Yeah, that's a really, really good observation, Jackson. You're so right about that one. What's going on right now? What's the deal? Why am I standing where I'm standing today?
Mikey and I, we're not talking right now.
What?
Yep.
You're not talking to Mikey right now? What happened?
No.
What happened?
Contractual negotiations.
Oh, jeez, that
We're
sounds
renewing
just
our
like
contracts for
Michael.
the year, and Mikey thinks he should get paid more than me.
You should get paid more.
Which, frankly,
You're so lucky. I don't even
That's
get
not true.
paid. You're so lucky.
well, I get paid in like corn.
I don't even get paid
I've
in
got corn on
corn.
the
I mean,
up to the
here's the
wazoo.
thing. I love corn as much as the next person, but we're in the time of the year where there's not as much corn around, and I'm having a really tough time. I mean, I was on the corn feed crew this summer, so I was eating like 2-3 dozen ears of corn every day, maybe for like a really long time. And now it's just like you can't just go to the side of the road and get a corn anymore. I don't know. This is a very topical conversation, a
Maybe.
conversation, if you will.
True. Maybe you can get some corn too. If Mikey stops demanding his 450 cobs of corn a week compared to
That is
my measly
ridiculous.
10 cobs.
Oh my gosh. You know, Beyonce got like 500 for performing in Dubai last week.
That's insane. That's almost, Mikey's getting paid almost that much.
I know, that's kind of ridiculous. Well, Mikey put aside, how's your week been otherwise?
I cut lots of styrofoam today, and I think I got slivers in my hands.
That's
probably
what?
fiberglass.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say that seems about right. Yeah, fiberglass.
It's
you
stuff
know,
we weren't supposed to have.
can't live
Time
with
is
it, can't live
valuable.
without it. You know, that's how I say about
can live
fiberglass
without it.
every day of my life. Well, my week has been pretty mediocre,
Yeah.
to be honest. I've had just like a couple of really slapsticky, like sad, hard things happen to me, such as my garbage bag breaking and spilling lots of water, and my cat just generally being a nuisance. I love her though, but there's been a lot of spillage this week, so I'm happy I haven't spilled anything today, because that's kind of becoming my brand, I think. Sorry.
It's okay. When I was in 6th grade, my mom handed me a trash bag full of garbage. At least I thought it was just normal garbage, but it turns out she took the, like, what's it called? Crock pot of
Oh my
hot
goodness
soup.
gracious!
Dumped it into the trash.
You know, I actually
and
had
handed me the trash.
I had a roommate who did that once.
Yeah?
My sophomore year of
Well,
college.
did the bag
I had a
burst all over
roommate.
your foot
Yes,
and get
and that was
hot
not the
soup
only
all
time
over
he
the
did it
thing, and
either.
now
You would
there's a
not believe
scar
what
on the
this
top
guy
of your
did my
left
sophomore
foot?
year of college.
My right foot. Sorry. not
Yeah,
my left
no,
foot,
his name
my
was
right
Mikey.
Like-
And
We
he
hate
did
Mikey
some.
here.
Yeah, he had
This
this
is
weird
the
thing
Mikey
about
show.
like avocados and like brie, and I don't know what his deal was, but anyways, we don't need to talk about that. We don't need to bring them up. Yeah.
The moral of today is to not put hot soup in trash bags.
This is
And
true.
also, don't listen to Mikey. when
Don't
he
listen
talks
to
about the
Mikey.
news.
Everything this man says is most likely a lie.
So don't listen to him when we cut to Mikey with the news right now.
Welcome to News. I'm Kay.
And I'm Mikey. Thank you, Kay, and only Maya. This Thursday, February 2nd, Brent Brandt, a friend of Concordia, has rented the entire Fargo Theater to show Groundhog Day. He's extended an invitation to any Cobber students who are interested and available to join. Groundhog Day is an iconic Bill Murray and Andy McDowell comedy from 1993 with a 94% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Of course, Brent is showing Groundhog Day this Thursday, which is Groundhog's Day. It's the kind of film you can see again, and again, and again. Tickets are free. Just show up and walk through the door. Professional organists will be playing from 6:30 to 7 p.m. Before the show, Brent will be doing some Groundhog Day themed trivia, with the film starting around 7:15 p.m. and ending around 9 p.m.
An email was recently sent out that details how COVID-19 booster shots will be offered again in Knutson on Thursday, February 9th, which is tomorrow. Next week. They'll be offered from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and it is instructed that those who plan to go should bring their vaccination cards. Pre-registration isn't required and it is recommended that you stay up to date with your COVID boosters and vaccines by the CDC, so consider taking advantage of this opportunity.
With some more stinky news, Bed Bath & Beyond, a popular store known for selling their home decor, bedroom and bath items, and beauty products. Due to a possible filing of bankruptcy, the store has closed 87 stores in 30 different states across the U.S. Florida leads with 11 locations closed in the state. The store states that they are planning to meet with advisors to consider multiple options on where they will go from here.
Last week, asteroid 2023 BU passed by Earth in one of its closest encounters. While NASA stated that it wasn't a hazard and wouldn't pose a threat, the asteroid passed lower than some of Earth's communication satellites. The size of the asteroid was close to that of a large truck, and as it passed Earth's southern hemisphere, it was only 2,200 miles above Earth's surface, giving it the new status as one of the closest asteroids to ever pass us by.
I did not believe this story when I first heard it. On Saturday, January 28th, Mr. Beast uploaded a video to YouTube called 1,000 Blind People See for the First Time. People were shocked to see the video, as the content provides exactly what the title promises. In the video, 1,000 individuals from the United States and other countries such as Jamaica and Vietnam get a surgery that helps them regain their vision. The surgery was described as only being 10 minutes long, with the surgeons removing the cloudiness from the lenses of people's eye. Now, a popular question that has surfaced is why this surgery isn't more available to those in need. It has people wondering what can be done to provide this procedure.
On January 26th in Michigan, Keith Stonehouse's 6-year-old son, Mason, managed to buy $1,000 worth of Grubhub. When Mason was put to bed, Stonehouse was surprised to hear the doorbell go off. A large package was left on his doorstep, which he had originally thought was meant for his wife, as she runs a business in cake baking. To his shock, there were multiple orders of food being left for him on his doorstep. In the end, they kept the food that was ordered and only have their fridge stocked for days to come. And now, an interview with Maya about a play called Love, Loss, and What I Wore.
Thank you so much, Kay. And honestly, quite rude of you to talk about food before I've had my dinner, because now I am hungry for $1,000 worth of Grubhub. Today, I am here with my good friends Lizzie Ortmeyer and Beth Autumn to talk about the upcoming show, Love, Loss, and What I Wore. So, Love, Loss, and What I Wore, we're talking about wearing. We're talking about clothing. Clothing really makes a person. So, I wanted to take a minute today to acknowledge my favorite Simon & Garfunkel sweatshirt that my roommate's mom bought for me. It's my favorite, and both me and my roommate's mom and my roommate have matching sweatshirts. So that's lots of fun. Would you like to give us a bit of a fit check? I'm really into this bolo tie moment here.
Sure.
Let's
Thank
see.
you. This jumpsuit I got for $21 from Target.
No
Crazy. Shoes also from Target.
Love it.
Both the bolo tie and the matching earrings are turquoise that I bought at Revolver downtown, like a vintage store.
Good spot.
This I think was like $12.
Oh, wow.
And so, I mean, if you're looking for bolo ties, I would definitely.
And
go to
once
Revolver.
again, not sponsored by Revolver. However, Revolver, call me if you want to talk. Beth, let's see. What's your fit check here?
I'm a Target girly.
Let's go.
So, shirt, shoes, and jeans, all Target clearance rack because we don't have Target money in this house.
I love a Target.
Hat, homemade by a good friend of the family.
No way.
Love that man.
good
He
hat.
lives in Washington. You can't get one. I'm
Looks
sorry.
very warm. Looks
But,
perfect for this horrible Fargo-Moorhead weather. It's really not that cold today.
It was
I
pretty
shouldn't
nice
complain.
today. Yesterday
I
was
should
cold.
complain, but I just hate any form of snow. So let's talk a little bit about the show. So all I know about the show is the very brief, probably 10-word description that I have been given by my friends, and as well as the title, Love, Loss, and What I Wore. So I'm assuming there's some love and probably some loss as well. But Lizzie, do you want to maybe tell us a little bit more about what the content of the show is like and what the audience should be ready to expect?
Sure. So, Love, Loss, and What I Wore is a collection of monologues and dialogues and scenes where they have a lot of us talking, sharing largely women's experiences, although some of the experiences can definitely be experienced by someone of any gender. All of the actors, are there like 9 of us, 10 of us?
9?
9. We play different characters throughout. We don't have
fun.
specific names, so each of the monologues that we do could be from a different perspective. Say for one character, Gingy, who's played by Mary. Oh gosh, I should know her last name.
So
Corcoran?
Mary.
Something like that.
Played by Mary.
I feel
Mary.
so bad. Oh,
Light
sorry,
of my
Mary.
life, Mary.
She's so sweet and she's so good. So if you're interested in kind of modern drama that kind of breaks the fourth wall and invites you into these shared human experiences, just with kind of us playing ourselves,
That's
then
really
this is the
cool.
play for you.
That's really cool. So that sounds like a really interesting sort of show that I've ever experienced anything like that before. So I am super, super excited. In terms of visuals, clothing is super huge, really integral part of the show. And Beth, as somebody who works in the costume shop and has done a lot of costuming stuff and is doing a lot of costuming with this show, do you want to talk a little bit about what the design is like and how that process was for you?
Sure. So, Love, Loss, and What I Wore is kind of a unique beast in that we are inviting all of our lovely performers to actually bring the stuff that they wear every day that they feel confident and comfortable in. So it hasn't been, I suppose, a traditional costuming experience. It's a lot of research. A lot of these stories are from certainly before our time, but you know, in modern-ish history.
That's still really
so,
cool.
A lot of what we in the costume shop have done has been historical, and we've got some pretty fun projections going on. Scenic and costume have really
that's
been
really
working together
cool.
on this one, which I think is exciting.
That is awesome. Well, that sounds super fun and super unique and kind of like nothing Concordia has done before. So for people who have seen maybe War of the Worlds and Rocky Horror so far this year, or maybe some of the shows in the past, how does this one compare and just like feel different than the other sort of main stage and or black box shows that we've seen here at Concordia in the past?
I think this one sort of invites the audience members into experiences that are portrayed on stage that they really relate to. Things like Rocky Horror or War of the Worlds, I think, are so far removed from like reasonable experience, and the stories shared in this piece all come from like true stories. They're all stories that women
They're
shared
as real
with
as
the
they come, it
playwright.
seems. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think it's far removed from the sci-fi horror of Rocky Horror.
The theme
and-
of semester one, very different than the theme. But
Yeah.
So for both of you guys, what are the things that you personally are most looking forward to with this show? If you want to start with Beth.
Yeah, so something else that's been different about this show is this is one of the first shows in a very long time. We actually have invited a couple of community members in to come and participate in this
is so
process
fun.
with us. So CLC, Mary, and Tara have all kind of jumped in and been a part of this process, and it's kind of been fun to be, I guess, mentored by people who have stayed involved in theater and are there to share their experiences.
Yeah, that sounds just really cool and different and new. That's lots of fun. What about you, Lizzie?
Piggybacking off of that, one of the cool things about having community and faculty members involved in this is the director wanted to make it accessible to those actors and also to the rest of us. And so we get to be on book for the whole thing. Much like War of the Worlds, it's more of a staged reading, really relying on the power of voice and storytelling versus a lot of like narrative blocking. While, you know, a lot of us have our pieces memorized, it's always very helpful to have that reference so that any gaps in memory or strange pauses are negated and the full story can be shared.
Yeah, that's really cool. So where and when is this going to be and how do people get tickets?
The dates are,
You got it.
oh no,
They're
the
soon.
12th is a Sunday, right?
Yep. It's
Okay, so it's going to be the 10th through the
Yep,
12th.
yep.
And then the 17th through the 19th. It's going to be
Okay.
Friday, Saturday,
So you got
Sunday.
two opportunities, love it.
Yes, 2 weekends,
That is
6
very
performances.
nice.
You have no excuses. So.
Awesome, yeah. Well, we hope to see all of you there at Love, Loss, and What I Wore. And on to our package with Joel Whitaker.
Squirrels have been a topic of interest on Concordia's campus for years, most recently with new research on the impacts of their foraging habits.
I'm Joe Whitaker, and I'm with the biology department as well as environmental and sustainability studies. So, yeah, and I've been here since 2011. But we started a project using radio telemetry. I originally started it to try to look at behavior of squirrels and try to look at the two squirrels we have on campus. We have red squirrels and gray squirrels, and I wanted to try to look at their behaviors. And a couple of the students a couple of years ago, right before the pandemic, realized that they were doing a lot of foraging in the garbage cans and likely getting a lot of exposure to plastics. It's become kind of a big deal overall with the idea of plastics in animals and in sea life. They've found it in oceans and all sorts of wildlife and water, and then we started getting interested in general in terrestrial organisms as well.
One of the students a part of the research team is senior environmental studies major Lexi Smith.
So our group is looking into microplastics in rural and urban squirrels. We do think that there will be a difference, especially considering that a lot of the squirrels here on campus, particularly the gray squirrels and the red squirrels, get into the trash a lot, and they chew through containers, like containers from the maze and other containers like maybe chip bags or something like that. It's important to look into what they are eating in order to understand what other animals are eating as well. And it's important to look into them to be able to kind of narrow down the origins of where the microplastics are showing up. And then we can use that research further to look into other terrestrial animals.
Ultimately, the weight of this issue falls on us, as stewards of the environment.
We probably need to make some really good decisions on how we're using our plastics and where we're going to go with our plastics, and how we treat it. Because the sources are kind of all over the place, and it's not something I think was really on our radar. It's something that we're sort of just figuring out the dangers or potential dangers with it. So I think people really need to be thinking about responsibility in terms of what sort of plastic they're using. Are there better options, canvas bags, et cetera, and ways we can sort of look at it that way. What sort of behavioral changes can we make that will ultimately be better for the environment?
Thanks, Joe. Dr. Joe Whitaker. Great to be here on stage with you again.
Yep. Mikey, I will have you all know, has agreed to fork over 440 of his corn cobs to the rest of the cast and crew.
I don't get it though. Who does actual work? We're on stage. We're doing work. There's some dude standing behind the camera right now. I don't know what he does. Greg? What does he even do? Anyways, what are we talking about?
A lot of stuff, Mikey. You see, we're actually very ugly. Both of us are. We are, in fact, so horrendously ugly that you would not recognize us on the street. So
there's a lot of
everybody
fine-tuning
behind
done.
The camera, they do a lot of work. They add all the filters to make us look presentable and not break the camera's lens.
Especially Jackson. I'd consider Jackson to be grotesque.
Speaking of behind the camera work, we have the Best Picture nominees for the 2023 Oscars.
Yep. That's my new bit.
Kevin Bacon has weighed in, and he personally believes that Top Gun Maverick won't win because he lost out on the role way back in the day when they were making the first one, because the producer was like, there's no way we can put a dancing sequence in this.
Yep. And he was only getting gigs if he could dance.
Yes.
Because that's the only thing he was known for, was that one dude that danced in Footloose.
Moving on to the actual list. That was Kevin's only word of advice, by the way.
He doesn't get any more say.
Triangle of Sadness. I didn't watch this movie. Did you watch it?
No, I didn't. But I was really interested when I saw the trailer. I just never watched it. I went, oh, that looks good.
It's not going to win. It didn't get nominated for, I think it got nominated for Best Director, nothing else. Top Gun Maverick, it could win.
I don't think it will.
It would be surprising.
Yes, I'd
but
be
it could.
surprised.
That's a could. Women talking, probably not.
Yeah.
Elvis. I didn't like it, but it could perhaps win.
I thought it was good. I thought Austin Butler did a great job.
It could probably win. Hollywood seems to really like it. They like Austin Butler. Tom Hanks, also lovable guy. Maybe not so lovable in this movie.
No, I didn't.
Maybe
his
his performance is a little off.
Yeah.
Maybe there's other problems with the movie. But Hollywood likes it, and Hollywood is the one making the decisions here.
Yeah.
So Elvis might win.
Not us here on Cordon Air.
The Fablemans. Hollywood loves stories that are like, I'm in Hollywood, woohoo. The Academy, they're probably, the Fablemans of this top row here, I'd say has the best chance. Second best chance would be Tar. Not necessarily about Hollywood, but about being an artist who is adjacent to the world of Hollywood.
Yeah.
And they also love that. And Tar's also just a really good movie. And if you haven't seen Tar, go watch it. Yes, it's 2.5 hours, but it's 2.5 hours of greatness with probably the funniest ending to like a movie you'll ever see. Like it comes out of complete left field. And the funniest thing is it sets you up by having the credits in the beginning of the movie. And you're like, why is this credited for the movie? And then the movie ends and you're like, oh.
I think I think my money would go on to Tar. As much as I'd love to see everything everywhere all at once, take the cake. I don't know, Kate Blanchett. It's hard. She's good.
Kate Blanchett might have everything everywhere all at once. And Michelle Yeoh and Ki Hae Kwan, they might have those Oscars.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed they get something.
Everything everywhere all at once. It's a great movie. I don't think it's gonna win. I don't think it's gonna pull it. It had a lot of traction in the beginning of the year, but I think just because it was all the way back in April, I don't think it's gonna be able to find that groove with those awards voters.
Do you think if it was released maybe 4 months ago, it would?
Yeah, probably closer to the award season, just so it's fresh on everybody's mind.
Yeah, that's fair.
All Quiet on the Western Front. I haven't seen this one either. It's one of my 3 blind spots. I don't think it's going to win. I think it's there because of its technical achievement, but I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's a serious contender. Banshees of Inisherin. Probably a serious contender. I have honestly no idea whether this will win or not, but the Academy clearly loves Banshees of Inisherin because
and I don't blame them.
Everybody in the movie that has a decent part and is memorable got nominated. So I think just out of sheer chances, probability, 100% guarantee that the movie Banshees of Inisherin wins something.
Yeah.
It might not be the award you expect, but it's going to win something. It got nominated for a lot of things. Avatar: The Way of Water.
Sorry.
Will The Way of Water turn out to be the way that wins? Probably not. I think it's there because it's an impressive achievement in filmmaking.
Most definitely.
It's amazing. James Cameron said when Kate Winslet first started swimming, she could only hold her breath for less than a minute. He said by the end of production, she could be down there for 7 minutes on one breath. That's insane.
That is remarkable.
Like, if they don't win, I'd feel so bad for the cast.
Yeah.
Like, they struggled for, what, $2 billion? That's all the movie made? Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to say that I foresaw this coming, but I saw the hype as it came up in the box office results. I don't know. It definitely can win something. Best water.
Best water.
Best water.
At least
award season.
At least this time around, James Cameron's former wife does not have a Best Picture nominee that may or may not have won instead of his movie. That was probably a little salty for him. But now, if he loses, there's nothing to be salty about, unless he's maybe
I don't know, except for this massive film that was been in production for how many years?
Yeah, he's got another one though on the way. It's coming. Just like we'll be coming back next week.
If I'm not here next week, these guys they killed me.
What?
Thanks. Bye.